Hello class, chapter 3, literature review. In this chapter, we will be understanding what is a literature review, how will you use it in continuing your research journey. So to begin, literature review is done by developing an argument by summarizing in order for you to present key information and synthesis, reorganization of information. So as a researcher, you must know how to distinguish between what has already been done and identify what needs to be done. Okay, so you must know how your work actually connects with current literature needs, and this needs to be explicit. So the literature review and its significance. So the literature review is one of the most important steps in the research process. It is an account of what is already known about a particular phenomenon. So the main purpose of literature review is for you to convey to the readers about the work already done and the knowledge and ideas that have been already established on a particular topic of research. All right. So there are several tips for you to actually do a literature review or for you to review the article. So one of the key tips that I always tell my students is PQRS. Okay, this is the acronym. P preview, Q questions, R reading, and S summarize. So preview, P is when you do a preliminary reading. You have to read the abstract, introduction, first sentence of each paragraph, and conclusion. Okay, remember reading the abstract, read the information, the introduction, read the first sentence of each paragraph, and also the conclusion. So you only read thoroughly when you are certain that the information is relevant to your research ideas. Okay, second tips is for you to question. So next you need to know what do you need to find out. What are the main questions and main conclusions of the paper? Are there any possible alternative interpretation of the literature? Next step is R. Okay, reading. Be active. You have to search for answers to the questions. Okay, B is right? And S is summarize. You must take selective notes. You must use color. You must use space to organize and for you to actually create a note template. So again, tips to review the article is P, Q, R, S. P, preview. Q, questions. R, reading. And S, summarize. Um, there are also procedures for you to actually review the literature. So there are 5 steps involved in conducting a literature review. You must search for existing literature in your area of study. You must review the literature selected. You must develop a theoretical framework. You must develop a conceptual framework right after and then writing up the literature review. Okay, the writing part lah. Right. So step by step, by searching the existing literature, you must review, you must develop theoretical framework and conceptual framework. And last but not least, for you to actually write down all of them. All right. Okay. Now we will be looking a little bit on research objective, questions, and problems. Okay. How to write research objective. So clarifying your research project actually involve thinking in more detail about your research objective. So research objective should be closely related to the statement of the problem. Okay, it must also summarize what you hope will be achieved by the study. So why is it important for you to write your research objective? Because it will help you to define the focus of your study. You must identify the variables to be measured. Okay, you can indicate the various steps of to be involved. You can establish the limits of the study, and last but not least, you can avoid collection any of the data that is not strictly necessary. Okay. For example, okay, these are some of the examples of the objective that you can actually create to determine the effect of customer expectation on customer satisfaction. You want to find out the effect of service quality on customer satisfaction. You want to identify how word of mouth communication impact on customer satisfaction. So these are the examples of objective. How can you formulate them? So here, if you can see, it will start with the verb to. Okay, verb to and it immediately followed by verb lah. So whether you want to determine, you want to find out, you want to identify, you want to study, you want to investigate, All right. So please make sure that you start with the word to followed by the verb. Next, okay, how can you find research question then? So from where research questions comes from? It comes from your own curiosity. So by following these themes, information gaps, controversy, replication, literature review, by other people maybe. So these are some of the things that actually can help you to develop a research question. Okay, so I would like for you to actually think from where else? What else can actually triggers a research question? How can you come up with research question if you were just doing a simple project? Okay, which area can actually helps you the most by using gaps, by reading controversial newspaper, by replicate the previous studies, perhaps by doing literature review, or some people tell you what to actually research for. It is also acceptable. So in order for you to write research questions, you must know that conceptualizing research study can ask these three types of question. Okay, there are descriptive, relationship, and difference question. However, this general classification scheme does not only helps you with the design of study, but they can also help you to choose the type of data analysis procedure. Okay. Moving on, I would not describe in detail this descriptive relationship and difference. Please read the slide and notes provided in the next page for you to have a deeper understanding about these three types of research question. We will be going on into research problem. So research problem is defined as a statement about an area of concern, a condition to be improved, a difficulty to be eliminated, or a troubling questions that exist in scholarly literature. Okay, this is the definition of problem statement. So how can you find research problem? Please follow this step by step as mentioned here in slides and also in the notes provided in the um, page. Okay, so again, problem statement or statement of the problem is a very specific statement which clearly identify the problem being studied, where it will usually identify the key variable as well as to give some information about the scope of the study. Okay, so this is how you actually write your problem statement. You must have some sentence. Usually you could be negative sentence as well, where you actually find problems of particular issues, a particular topic, right? Um, as mentioned here, I provided you some of the sample of problem statement for you to actually review and get some example from. All right. Again, we are looking now at delimitations. So it defined the scope of the study where it actually set the boundaries of the study. Okay. For example, if you want to study about climate change, can you study the whole nation, the whole world? Okay, you must limit some of scope of the study. So you must set boundaries. So normally these boundaries are under control of the researcher. So examples include number and kind of subject. How many participants would you like for them to actually join your study? Okay, treatment condition. What are the some of the tests or measures of instruments used? You can control all of this. What kind of equipment would you like to use? Where is it? Okay, like I said just now, location or environmental setting and type of training lah. Time in the study and also set the duration of the study, right? Um, Next, notes is all about variables and hypotheses, which it is very, very important for you to actually understand before you embark in a research process. However, um, all the notes and slides are provided in the next page for you to actually go through and have a bit of understanding. I will also include how to write references in the next page for you to actually do your literature review together with writing APA style references. So please watch the attached video as well for you to actually practice how to write APA style references. So thank you very much. See you next chapter.